So I'm Bryan. I'm 30 years old. I'm the owner and founder of Lunaversa. And my role in this project was acting as a producer.
Yeah, so my name is Daniel Ilabaca. I'm the director of Ranger Heist. I'm also the founder of Stunt Camera Crew, which is an action cinematography based camera team.
So yeah, that's quite funny. Daniel, our director in the project, came to me and told me that he has an idea.
The idea was, how could we look to create these Hollywood-style kind of action sequences on a budget? And so I'm always kind of inspired by the idea of how to elevate the level of any form of production with minimal tools as possible. So yeah.
It needs to happen like really in a short period of time.
I'm always inspired by the idea of looking for complex ways of developing action sequences, but in the most efficient manner.
And I found the idea quite cool, the opportunity, and I thought, yeah, let's do it, let's make it happen. Yeah, Daniel came to me, had an idea, because this company, Laowa, sent him some lenses to test, and he was like, hey, let's do something great, let's capture some nice images.
I think it was important for me, obviously understanding the action cinematography side, and that being a lot of the time my main focus. It was important for me to kind of anchor that in a very Hollywood-style kind of storytelling, whether it was composition or framing, obviously the importance of lighting and all the rest. Sometimes, I guess, as an action director, when you're coming in to do projects, it's more just you're really focused on the action and how to just get it in the moment, whereas like I found that, yeah, it was really important to try and look for a way to do that in the most cinematic way possible. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think given the nature of how fast everything was playing out, all I can say is that it was amazing to be able to know that we could cast some amazing talent, you know, to be able to know that they kind of came from theatre and that they hadn't done any kind of major acting roles in a film-like sense. It was actually quite amazing to see them come to life in the thing that they're so familiar with. Obviously being on a stage with people watching and doing theatre acting, and to be able to just to be able to facilitate a space where they could do that for real, but with the camera set up, it was quite rewarding to see them come to life in that space. So yeah, I think very happy with the people that we kind of got on board for the project. Again, given how short notice everything was, it's, you know, we were very appreciative of their contribution to just dive in.
In general, I think I'm really proud of everyone's commitment to it, because we went over schedule. We had early mornings, let's say, and everyone still committed and was giving it like 100%, and so that was really a joy, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, it was great that the team behind the camera were absolutely fantastic. It's been a long time coming. It's amazing to finally see kind of more and more heads coming together to be able to create these short stories, and again, who knows where it'll lead and stuff. So I think, given that the Ranger Heist was this first proper collaboration with a lot of people local to Bern, it was amazing to see what could be achieved again in such a short period of time. I mean, everyone performed amazingly. Bryan obviously produced it and did a fantastic job of that.
Let's say most of the crew is at some regard chosen by me. So I tend to choose people that I can work with, also people like where I can learn from. I think that's quite important. Also in stress situations, like everyone performed well, and that made me really happy.
Yeah, also Roberto as a first AD, and just his kind of attention to detail, being able to see him kind of looking at the monitor and then realising something needs to be shifted and changed, and was super cool. Again, Boas's attention to detail with lighting and composition, and yeah, just really kind of his gentleness and focus on set really helps us to kind of, even though there's this sense of like urgency, he reminds us of the importance of just remaining anchored in each scene. So yeah, it was really good.
Our new apprentice, Milo, he managed, like it was, he started at our company maybe 2 months ago, and it was his first bigger production, let's say, and so we realized that we didn't have a position as a focus puller for some scenes. We missed someone. Also, yeah, it was very limited in budget again, and so we gave Milo the system, and he, like, I would say in less than half a day he learned how to focus pull. Now, like, the results are great. For someone that had the first time in his life a focus pulling system in his hands, and so that made me like really proud. Yeah. I think the biggest problem, let's say, was just the time schedule. From ideation to the production dates, it was maybe a week or so. So that's probably one of the most short-term projects I did in such a scale.
So yeah, I mean, the first challenge that I could think that was something that came to mind during the production would have been, there was the car park scene where we were kind of aiming to rollerblade next to the side of the vehicle. The moment we arrived, we noticed the floor was wet. And that also had just a knock-on effect on the overall surface across the space, especially as I'm rollerblading through. So yeah, so it was just trying to kind of figure out where would be the best place to start in order to best adapt to the scene that we previously created without water in mind.
Like, important to mention is that it's a passion project, which meant the budget is really limited. And in regards to that, I feel like I need to say also thank you to like everybody involved, because we made that happen with like almost none budget, like almost no budget. Everyone committed, and yeah.
Yeah, I guess the message where we were trying to portray was just this Hollywood style kind of, you're flicking through the channel on your TV and you're straight into the middle of some sort of film that's been playing for the last hour, and we want to just be able to transport the audience to another realm or another, you know, place, and so that was the idea from the start, was to just kind of treat it in that way, that you would switch a channel, you'd find something that you're interested in, you'd immediately be drawn in, and then you'd be left wanting more at the end.
Let's say astonishing to see what can happen without a budget, and do something great. start out, and I think your role as a producer, or maybe what is really an advice specifically to the role as a producer, would be try to be the problem solver. I always give myself some time to think about the worst things that can happen in pre-production, production or post. Try to already in advance solve these problems.
Yeah, I think the thing that kind of stands out to me the most, obviously given the seriousness and the urgency and the focus of everything, just the camaraderie on the set, I found it really enjoyable to work with everyone that was there, and I'm only more excited to do that again in the future. So that's probably the biggest thing I've been able to take away from it, just the camaraderie, the banter, the fun energy on set, yeah.
Yeah, and at the end, work with people that you like. That's the most important.
I think for some time now, I don't know how to answer that question.
Sorry.
What other challenges? Did you answer this question as well?
Yeah.
Have a nice life.
Yeah, have a nice life. Exactly.
No, thank you very much for having me.